This basket is based on your design, right?
Right.
You designed that basket.
Yeah. The hand on there is Nakia Wakefall. That's her hand, but the basket is mine.
When you talk about how long it takes to make something, you told me y'all don't measure it in hours,
No.
you measure in days.
Right.
Okay. How many days did it take you to make that?
That fan basket took me, it was about a week.
Okay. And this, tell me about this basket.
This is my mom's.
It's your mom's.
Yeah.
And this is the last basket
The
she
last
made.
basket she made.
And you said this took her about 2 days?
2 days.
How long you think it would take you to make this?
A week.
A week? Your mom was a pro.
Yes, she was. My great-grandmother, she had made a basket in 1929. American Craft Museum in New York. They had it on loan for a year.
Okay.
And it's in their catalog.
And you have some stuff in museums as well, right?
Yeah,
Where's your stuff at?
the Smithsonian.
All right. All right. So when we talk about the displacement of this culture, I mean, we're talking about hundreds of years of history and skill just
Right.
wiped off.
Yes.
Yeah. Sweetgrass baskets were brought to America by enslaved Africans from the rice coast of West Africa in the 17th century. Stolen from their land for their knowledge and their experience in the cultivation of rice, the first known baskets in the Low Country were fanner baskets, used in winnowing, production, and processing of rice, one of the money crops of the time. Following emancipation, sweetgrass baskets transformed from a hard-working farm staple to a high-performing earner for these black artisans. Setting up shop along Highway 17 in Mount Pleasant, basket weaver Ida Jefferson Wilson became the very first black stand along the 17 stretch. With the current expansion of the highway, the culture faces the risk of being removed from the area, another impediment to the cultural and economic stability of the black community.
The baskets was adopted by the state of South Carolina as the handicraft for the state of South Carolina.
The handicraft.
The handicraft.
And so the handicraft of the state of South Carolina that was originally really commercialized here by our people
Right.
may not have a home after a while.
If things keep going the way it is, it might.
Wow.
Right.
But basket weaving wouldn't be the first pillar of the community to be lost in Mount Pleasant. Lang High School, established in January 1866 for freedmen following the Civil War. Known as the Lang Industrial School, the institution grew and offered 7 years of schooling. In 1953, the school moved to Highway 17 North at 6 Mile Road, where it graduated students from the 12th grade from 1954 through 1970. In 2020, the historic building was torn down to make way for a Home Depot. Now, you went to Lang, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, when did you go to Lang?
I graduated Lang High School in 1962.
1962. Okay.
This is our original arch from the old Lang High School. The school faced Highway 17. And when they built this store, they were able to keep it intact for us and preserve it, and they brought it over here. Lang was established in 1866 by the Quakers in the old village of Mount Pleasant. And in 1953, they built a new school at this site here in 6 Mile. We tried to get it, but we couldn't. And they tore it down, but we still have the name because they had made this a middle school after they closed it down as a high school.
So let's go back and talk a little bit about this widening project that you're concerned about. When did you start hearing, because this has been widened a couple times, right?
Yeah, it's been widened a couple of times. And in 2006, when I served on the Comprehensive Plan Committee, we gave them the plans that help alleviate the traffic around the community, but they sat on it. I said they didn't want to accept our ideas. Now we're back to the drawing board again because people were displaced because of it. A lot of the basket makers were displaced because of it. And we don't want to see that again happen to our community. We would like to hold on to whatever we have left.
So what happens if this gets widened again? What happens to those basket makers?
They'll be lost. If you don't have a piece of property right on Highway 17, then you don't have no place to sell your basket except the city of Charleston, which is the city market or the visitor center. And they do have places for us there. They always accommodate us.
Right. But this is your home, so
This
you
is
shouldn't
our
have
home.
to go.
We shouldn't have to go out of our home.
Exactly. And there's been any talks with the town of Mount Pleasant about, as they're growing, to still make a place a cultural home for y'all?
Some of the companies come in and do that, just like Home Depot. You see they built these two, and we had another one down near Pushier Bluff. But then after he built it, he's trying to make the basket makers get insurance on the piece of property that they're selling their baskets on.
Right.
But the people in Columbia, they keep fighting for it, but then when you come down to the local, that's where the buck stops.
Where do you feel like the disconnect is? If Columbia is willing to fight for y'all, but the town is not, where do you feel like that disconnect is?
Well, a lot of the people in the town is not from this area.
Say that again.
So they don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll have to, train them, teach them, work with them, let them know how important this culture is to the town of Mount Pleasant. It shouldn't be the city of Charleston promoting it all the time.
Right. With everybody moving in here, 7 Mile community not being the same, when did you start seeing that change from okay, this is not the town that I recognize, this is not the place I grew up?
I don't know the people that around me. Some of my neighbors I do not know. And some of the rules that they put in place, it's kind of hard to get used to.
Yeah.
When you have a town circling a community and you have to live by their rules.
What kind of rules that are in place now that you trying to get adjusted to?
Even just for sewer and water, simple things like that. You got to tie into the town of Mount Pleasant. I think it should be a choice. And I don't like subdivisions because you have to have an HOA and that's costing additional money.
Right.
And a lot of the houses in Mount Pleasant is not affordable anymore.
Right. So it's costing you more money to live in the place that you grew up in.
Yeah. And then if I want to cut off an acre or half an acre for one of my family, they want to put all this in place. They want to put a 50-foot road down the middle of your property, to accommodate whoever else is coming in. They put me through some changes just to get a piece cut off for my cousin, You have to jump through hoops. When before you could just get a surveyor and get it surveyed off, No, they stick their nose in to tell you how you have to do it.
Yeah.
The Manigos and the Campbell, they own all this. Once you cross over this water, it's the Campbells, and these are the Manigos, and we have some moot trees in here too.
All heirs property?
All heirs.
Okay, okay. Is this land being siphoned off? Do people come here trying to buy up the land?
Oh yes, every day. Every day you get a call or a note, put on your door.
Yeah. So they come up to the house and put notes on the door?
Oh yeah, they're bold. We would like to buy your house.
What's the most amount of money you've heard someone being offered for land over here,
No, because I don't even acknowledge it. When they come, because most of the time people tell that I have a sign saying property for sale.
Yeah.
You better get away from my door.